Hi guys, welcome to the channel. I'm Zero State Live, your source for Star Citizen gameplay and content on YouTube. I do stream on Twitch 5 to 6 days a week, so make sure to check the link in the description down there. There's also a link to a Discord server that you can join. Whether you're a new player or a veteran, there will be a place for you there at that community. Make sure to click the like and subscribe button on YouTube here for more YouTube content involving Star Citizen particularly, as well as my channel. I want to thank you for being here, and let's get started. Alright folks, the first thing that's going to happen here is you're going to wake up in your Area 18 hab. Check out the cool signage in your bed, and then use your interact key on your keyboard, which is the F key. You'll notice a get up option there. Alternatively, you can tap the Y key on your keyboard, but again, familiarizing yourself with the interact system is a great first step in Star Citizen. Interact with the door of your hab to open it up and get out. Don't be fooled by the ferns. This place is a city planet. Outside the hab, we're going to head down the hall and down the stairs, in this case to the left. You can check out the cityscapes a bit. These are live cityscapes, so every once in a while up in the sky you may see a player. There's an elevator nearby. Make sure to call that elevator, again using your interact key. Sometimes the wait for that elevator can be a few seconds. Don't be afraid to call the elevator more than once. We're going to choose ground floor here. As you can see, there were several levels to this hab area. Those levels are all different habs that people are spawning in. Outside the elevator, you're going to want to head down the hall past the Kovalex shipping box machines, which can be useful for certain delivery missions. You're going to pass by some common areas. You're going to see the Kasaba outlet. It's a place you can buy clothes, and also a Cubby Blast, which is a great place to buy ammunition and weapons. If you guys use my referral code, you'll have an extra 5,000 UEC to use on something like armor or weapons at a place like that, so feel free to stop by if you have some UEC to spend. Heading down the hallway to the right, you're going to enter the main plaza of Area 18, noted by the giant spinning gear ball of death. And that I'm zooming in on right now is our goal to get out. Now, there are lots of things to explore here. Places you can buy ship upgrades, weapons, etc. But again, our goal here with this video is just to get out. So you're looking for City Flight Transit. You noticed that sign above me as I went through that door. We're going to head down the stairs. Off to the left, you'll see the old Victus Launch Week Convention Center, which is closed up. We're going to head to the right hallway. And what we're doing here is we are going to wait for the tram. Now, main cities like Lorville, New Babbage, or Area 18 all have these kind of different tram systems. One is called the MT Metro Loop. You get the idea. ArcCorp, they call it City Flight. ArcCorp is a bit unique in that their tram system actually flies and arrives on station quite blisteringly slow. After a significantly longer wait than you're used to, doors will open. You'll want to head into the tram. They give you a pretty good window view of the city during this tram ride. Now feel free to play a game of Sudoku while you're waiting for the tram to depart. And then you're going to want to get out your favorite crossword puzzle and take in the cityscapes as the tram lazily makes its way through Area 18. I'll take this time to mention that for the most part, you want to avoid reading the global chat in the upper left for the most part. It is largely drivel. Most of the time, it's somebody complaining about being killed, and then somebody laughing at them. Usually they're a murderer. Sometimes it's somebody lamenting the fact that they are in prison. And other times, it's somebody asking for help because they've been stranded. It does happen from time to time. As we start to pick up speed through Area 18, you'll get a chance to view a lot more cityscape. ArcCorp is pretty heavy on the cityscape thing. Most of the planet is covered in city, which is pretty impressive when you think about it from a game development standpoint, to completely cover a planet with cities. If you look to your left there, you'll get to see lots of different ships making their way through. Our tram is much faster, most of those ships. And we have our own special lane for the City Flight Transit tram, which is kind of interesting. Up and to the left, you'll see this is our destination. Transit A, as it were. We are arriving at the station. And these doors will open, and we will head out. Now we're going to want to head to the right here. Ignore the NPCs standing on the chairs. That's just kind of how they do in 2950. We're going to head up the stairs, and as you can see, Riker Memorial Spaceport signage off to the right. I'm going to follow that signage. Down the stairs, through the customs area. Each of the three main locations currently in the Stanton system do have customs areas on your way out. Off to the right there, you'll see the security terminals, which you can use to pay off smaller crimes that may be useful if you accidentally pad loiter or something like that and get a fine. Here you'll see the vehicle retrieval console. You can see I have a list of ships here. Some are retrievable. This is the Drake Cutlass Black that we're retrieving right now. You'll also see other icons for claim. If you have a destroyed ship, you can claim it at any one of these terminals, and it should bring it back. Note that we are on Hangar 3, and the pip for our Drake Cutlass Black, which is magically visible on our HUD, also says that we're in Hangar 3 and that it's 330 meters away. Back around behind the vehicle terminals, you can see the hangar elevators off to the right. And there's another sign just above there that says hangars. Now, these elevators will take you to all the different hangars. Remember that we were in Hangar 3. And we're going to want to choose that from the list, again, using our magnificent interact key. The trip down to your hangar should be relatively short in these hangars. And as you can see, we're at Hangar 003. Make sure to pay your respects to the security guard that has to guard this mostly empty hangar most of the time. And familiarize yourself with the external of your ship. Now, the Drake Cutlass Black is quite a useful ship. It does a lot of things and it does them quite well. Although it's a bit of a jack of all trades, it's not necessarily the best at anything. Using the interact key on your ship, you'll be able to open the hangar or enter your ship, depending on the ship you have. And moving through your ship, some doors open on their own, some you have to interact with. Entering the pilot seat using the interact key. At this point, we have two options. We can tap the R key on our keyboard, or flight ready to turn on all of our ship systems, or we can use the interact key to physically interact with our ship systems. Familiarize yourself with your HUD just a bit and click flight ready. Clicking flight ready will power on your ship's shields, engines, weapons, etc., etc. Now you can familiarize yourself with a lot of those. Take a look at the rightmost panel and click that little menu button and then click comms. Now you can see Area 18 landing services, and you can click that little button there to hail them. Might be wondering how we're going to open our hangar to be able to get out. Comm link tab in your Mobiglass. Mobiglass is quite useful in this game. Click that and then click the friends list there and click Area 18 landing services hailing button. As you can see, the guy mentioned ready for launch. And as we look up, we can see the hangar door starting to open. Make sure to wait till that's fully open, but don't wait too long. They will close it on you eventually. At this point, we'll want to scroll back on our scroll wheel on our mouse to lower our speed limiter quite a bit, because we want some precision flying. Now I've lowered it to very low. As you can see, we're moving at about 5 or 6 meters per second. I've hit F4 on my keyboard to enter third-person mode to get a better view of my ship as I leave the hangar. Tap F4 back to make it back to your seat. And as you can see, we're coming up. You don't just want to leave at this point. You'll want to scroll back up a bit on your speed limiter. Give yourself a little bit more headroom and speed. Turn your ship to the left or the right. Eventually, you'll come into contact with one of these very obvious neon tubes. Now, these are the exit splines and landing splines, landing and leaving. Area 18 or Lorville will require you to utilize these landing or exit splines on your way in or out. Now, because we hailed the services, the landing services, they gave us one of these after we left our hangar. Now we have to fly through the middle of it. Bit of a trippy experience. It's too bad we don't have any illicit drugs for these, right? Anyway, as soon as you've made it through the tube, you are now pretty much free to fly upwards at your own leisure. Boost key on your keyboard is the shift key. Try not to overdo it. Your engines will overheat. And make sure to scroll your speed limiter up as high as it goes, just to kind of maintain best possible speed. Familiarizing yourself with your HUD, you have a horizon lock. That's pretty obvious. You also have a cruise control, which I've just enabled. That's that little tick mark right there using the C key for Charlie on your keyboard that will enable and disable. Now you can see that we are at about 6,800 or 7,000 above sea level. We're going to need that to be about 13,000 before we can do anything. So we're just kind of waiting at this point. We're cruising. Our landing gear has come up. Now the landing gear button is N. And of note, with the Cutlass Black particularly, there are some ships that utilize VTOL mode, which is the K button on your keyboard. Flying upwards may seem like it's a little bit boring, but it takes 10 to 15 seconds. At a certain altitude, which is about 13 kilometers or 13,000 altitude, you can tap B and turn on your quantum drive. Turning on your quantum drive will allow you to nose around and spool and calibrate to different locations nearby, orbital markers or surrounding different planets. They help you get around. Now what we're going to do is we're looking for Baijini Point. As you can see, it's about 245 kilometers away, and we are calibrated to it and spooled. So we're going to press and hold the B key, and our ship will take us there. Now what I've done here is I've actually unspooled my quantum drive, because I'm going to show you how to lock that location. Now, hitting F2 will bring up your star map, and you can double right click to kind of center that. Double click on ArcCorp, which is where you are, and then zoom in creatively on ArcCorp. Make sure that you're kind of staying centered on the planet. Click Baijini Point. Make sure that you have that selected, and then click Set Route. And you can see that it says Baijini Point there. It's going to use 0.01 quantum fuel, which is pretty low. And now you can see that when we spool the quantum drive, there are no other locations because we've locked our destination to Baijini Point. And we could have quantumed at any time to this location, but I just wanted to show you both. Pressing and holding the B key will quantum travel you to a location. We are getting attacked here. Keep in mind, you are able to be attacked at any of these locations. Basically, when you are anywhere in the universe, if a player or an NPC comes across you, they will be able to attack you. Now, you can see a red dot on my radar there. Also, it says radar lock. That's because that red NPC, aka the bad guy NPC, locked target on me, and he's been attempting to kind of follow me around and attack me a bit, but it looks like security forces are largely going to be dealing with him. I could have, if I wanted to, dogfight him just a bit, but again, our goal is point A to point B. Most of the time you will not run into those, so make sure to hail Baijini Point for landing clearance.
Please proceed to assigned landing bay.
And as you can see, they have told me to proceed to a certain landing bay, which pops up a little HUD notification that is a circle with a down arrow on it. And we're going to try to come in nice and slow. Make sure you're not coming in too fast. At this point, it may be a good idea to scroll back on your scroll wheel on your mouse to lower your overall speed limiter. And you can see that there is a square box that is kind of flashing, implying, hey, this is your landing pad. So we're going to scroll way back on our speed limiter to get some precision flying in. As you can see now, my top speed is about 12 meters a second, which is pretty slow. And we're going to come in close. Now, there are two options here. Make sure to tap N to open your landing gear. You can also slap down on the pad, but what I've done here is I press and held the N key, which is the auto land function. So we've used some fuel, both quantum fuel and hydrogen fuel, getting here. Keep in mind that whenever you quantum travel somewhere, you do use some fuel. Now, getting landing and landing here has reset our spawn point to Baijini Point. We no longer will spawn at Area 18. So the next thing we want to do is we want to refuel our hydrogen and quantum fuel. And also keep in mind we can sit on this pad for between 8 and 10 minutes before the station will start warning us that they do plan to impound our ship, and they may fine us for that. As you can see, our quantum fuel is at 42%, our hydrogen fuel is at 80%. We're going to open our Mobi-Glass, again, very useful to Mobi-Glass, and enter the vehicle maintenance services area. So we see repair. Apparently we took a small amount of damage. In this case, we're just going to refuel both our hydrogen and our quantum fuel. And of note, you can see that our quantum fuel indicator is rising. And once that hits 100, they will start filling our hydrogen fuel as well. And this can take some time. Again, like I was saying, your spawn point is now Baijini Point, so you may want to go inside off of your hangar and familiarize yourself with your new home. It's a lot easier to land and spawn your ship here than it is at Area 18, which is kind of the point of this video. So now you can see that we're full on fuel and we're ready to go. Thanks for watching.